Hi Al, thanks for taking a look at my video here. I am going to review why advice does and does not work. I relate this to my golf game. I have a couple of close friends that have given me advice, and I'll let you know how that advice does and does not work. First of all, I have a friend, Angelo, that I play with only in tournaments. He's a friend that I've met through the Golf Channel Amateur Tour, and sometimes we play a practice round before the actual tournament, and the advice that was given to me by Angelo did not work. And the advice that he gave to me was during a round, before and after I would set up for my swing. He would give me advice like, keep your head up, aim left, swing easy. And every time I swung, and before and after, he always critiqued me. And he didn't ask me if I wanted this advice or if it was okay to give it to me at that time. He just gave it to me because he thought he was being helpful, which I didn't tell him, hey, I don't want this advice, stop giving it to me. I just tried to keep plugging along, which it actually did upset me and made my game harder to play. Angelo violated some of the rules that we go over in our textbook, Interpersonal Communications, looking in, looking out. And also wanted to tell you about advice that does work in the same situation. I have a friend, John, that I've been friends with since high school for over 20 years. And he also gives me advice on golf. John and I started playing about 8 years ago, and I would beat him on a regular basis back then, but I stopped playing for a while, and for a few years. And in golf, that's an eternity. And so now that I've gotten back to the game, John also will give me advice. But the difference between the advice Angelo gives me and John gives me is John will always ask me before he says anything, hey, can I give you something? I think I saw something in your swing that I wanted to mention. Do you want to hear it? And if it's during a round, usually I say, no, I don't want to hear it right now, because you can't change your swing when you're in the middle of a round. But after the round, sure, we can go over what you saw. And most of the time, John won't even say anything on the course. He'll wait until after we played, and then ask me if it's okay if he tells me a few things that he saw. And of course I say, yeah, what'd you see? And then I'm able to take that information and go to the range and work on it. And so that's advice that does work. So I guess the main point here is you have to be aware and cognitive of the person that you're giving advice to, that they actually want that advice and that they're receptive to it. Don't just start giving people advice without asking them whether or not they're interested, because most of the time, if not all the time, if you don't ask those important questions, would you mind if I told you something, or given the right context, it's just not going to work. So when advice does work is when you take into consideration the other person's willingness to accept that advice, and when it does not work is when you push your advice on someone without taking consideration what it is that they're expecting. So that is my speech on when advice does and does not work, and I appreciate you guys listening in. Thanks.